Hello, so in the previous video we created a Docker image from an existing container. So we played around, created a container, installed stuff, and created the image. A probably better way or more sustainable more sustainable way is to create a Docker file, which is just a specification of what is in the Docker image, and then build the new Docker image based on that Docker file. So we are back to the slides, and this is basically what we need. So we need a file which defaults to, well, just a Docker file. We need that file, and there inside you will have the commands, the instructions of how to create the image. So I'm cleaning the screen. I'm creating here, well, let's create a directory just to make it clear, and just call it example vim docker file. Doesn't matter what editor you use, and actually you can use also other names, but by default is docker file. And then inside the file you say from, and you say for example Ubuntu 2004. So here you will have to declare what is the base image you're using. You're creating all of your images based on some other image that already exists, and that's it. So this is not going to be something very interesting, but it's the first step of creating a Docker image. And now you need to type in docker build, name of the Docker image that you're creating. This could be anything. In the previous one we used my Ubu, right, I think, and now I'm just coding my Docker. And then this dot is important because that tells Docker what is the directory where all the content can be found, all the content, all the tools, all the necessary parts that is going to be used to create the Docker image. And so that's what we need to do. So we type in docker build -t, and just paste it here, and then we can run it. Now this, what happens actually is that the Docker client that I just executed sends over all the files that are in this directory, which is currently just that single Docker the Docker file, and sends over to the Docker server, basically the Docker daemon. And in the Docker daemon, the Docker container is built based on the instructions. Now if I type in docker images, then you can see that there is both the myubu that we created in the previous video and the mydocker that I didn't give it a tag, so it just uses the tag latest, and that's what I have. Now actually the funny thing is that my Docker, it says it's created 3 days ago because my Docker image didn't have anything beyond the Ubuntu image, so it was just basically the same thing, so nothing new there. And now I could actually run this new image just the same way as I do earlier. So docker run -rm, so I'm going to remove it, -it, and I'm saying docker, my Docker, sorry. This is the name of the image, and I run it, and because I put it -it, it gets inside. If I type in history, I don't have a history here, right? Because it's based on the original image, so it was empty. There was nothing in that I got from the Docker hub, and that's it. So now I created an image. It's not very useful because it's the same as the original Ubuntu, but it's already something. So this is just the command that I ran afterwards to run it. Now I can go on, and so the next small step that I do is add a command. Okay, a command. This command is going to be, so whatever I have is a cmd in the Docker file. This should be usually the last line in our command. That's going to be executed when I run the Docker container. So this line is not executed when we are building the image. It's executed when we are running it. So I just copy it again. I open the Docker file, paste in this line, and of course I will need to rebuild now the image. So I'm rebuilding the image. Now you can see earlier it was just one step. Now it has two steps, and it says it has it removed an intermediate container. That's not the details are not that important right now. But if I run now again, well, first of all, if I just list the images, then you can see that the mydocker is now has its own image ID. Okay, earlier it was the same exactly as the Ubuntu image, and now you can see that was it created 18 seconds ago. And well, it's the same size because it doesn't really have any meaningful extra in there. And now I can run the image, okay, run the container, and what it does, it automatically runs that executable that was in the CMD. Okay, I don't even need actually this -it. It will just execute that command that was there. Okay, so now we built, again, it's not really useful, very useful yet, but it's already something. And then we go on in the next videos, in the upcoming videos, we're going to build more and more interesting Docker images so we can use them in all kind of other places.